Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the April 2022 meeting of Murrumbidgee Council. In the spirit of open, accessible and transparent government, and to ensure this meeting is open to the this council meeting is being recorded and live streamed to the Murrumbidgee Council Facebook page. A recording will also be placed on Council's website following the meeting. Call for any apologies? No, all present and accounted for. We'll move to the confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary meeting on the 22nd of March 2022. Somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Curtis, seconded Councillor Gilbert. I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you. I'll remind all councillors here, please, of their pecuniary interest. Anybody at last minute declarations? No? Okay. There's no notices of rescission, no notices of motion. I'll move on to the Mayor's report. I apologise for the lateness of this, but as you can tell, I have been less than on full throttle. So autumn has arrived. We've had timely rain, with more to come. April has been busy, both work-wise and socially. The harvest moving towards completion and the ground is being worked up and prepped for the next rotation. We find ourselves exposed to the rigours of a federal election campaign. At the end of the day, we all expect that our leaders prioritise health services, the economy, the environment and investment in our rural communities. Our advocacy in this space is ramped up with our recently prepared advocacy brief. We had the opportunity to promote this on the 12th and 13th of April with the Honourable Susan Lee MP and member for Albury Justin Clancy MP. There were many social functions and events held over Easter, vastly different from last year, and combined with school holidays, our roads and our towns have been busy. The annual Good Friday Royal Children's Hospital Golf Day in Murrumbidgee raised an amazing $23,000. This is really well done, and congratulations to the hard-working committee. Our three communities have demonstrated just how important Anzac Day is to all of us within the Murrumbidgee LGA. From all who attended these commemorative services, we thank our servicemen and women for their service. Thank you for our freedom and our quality of life, and we must never forget. The longed for and very welcome roadworks on the Newell Highway at the northern end of Jerusalem are almost completed. This work has been carried out in a timely and professional manner and is a welcome asset upgrade for the town and the Newell Highway. Community strategic plan is in draft and ready for perusal. The response is pleasing and hopefully it will provide an informed guiding document for this council term. Congratulations to the following who were presented with the National Emergency Medal at a rural fire service Saturday the 23rd of April. Tom Breed, Paul Muir, Troy Heath, Ash Beering and John Stuckings. Finally, I would like to acknowledge Tiana Gibbons' contribution to council and wish her well in her new endeavours. And below just a list of meetings that I attended at the end of March and into April, and given the public holidays and the Easter break, it's not quite as busy as that has been in the past. I was invited to attend the presentations of the emergency medal at the RFS service in Griffith on Saturday, but thought better of it given my very dubious health. So, are there any questions of my report?
We set aside saw that there's a little bit of a anomaly in there and just wanted to put some extra wording around because council holds residential and industrial land as inventory for resale. council gives us, myself as the general manager, the parameters in which the sale prices are, of what can be accepted and all of those sort of things, just so that we can sell that land. So we've included in the review policy clauses in relation to reflect that industrial and the residential land as inventory land. We also brought into the Local Government Act and regulations that changed to and was brought forward by the external auditors to change our threshold limits from 150,000 to 250,000 to be in line with the Act and the regulations. Other changes within there just to reflect the organisation. So hence we'll just be recommending that we adopt that new policy. The enterprise risk management policy was only adopted by Council in November 2021. We are still working through all of the processes with it, so the review of that policy is just to accept what it was previously without any changes. The gifts and benefits policy, there was one area in there that I thought needed some attention coming forward, is in relation to gifts by chance. So a lot of times councillors and staff get asked to come to functions or anything else and events like that, or to trade shows or to all of those sort of things, and there's virtually gifts given away from chance. It could be a ticket underneath your seat and you win a prize, or you put your business card in a bowl and they draw your name out of a hat and you win a bottle of wine or something like that. So just to reflect that recommending that we include a clause for gifts by chance within the policy. So when representatives of council at those sort of things, and there is a lucky door prize or there's a gift by chance that the councillor at that time, staff member, can choose to legitimately keep that gift, or for their own purposes, or give it to the council to use in accordance with the remainder of the gifts and benefits policy. That was the only change within the gifts and benefits policy to be reviewed. Rates and council hardship policy, exactly this. We're recommending it be the same after the review. There was no, it's a reasonable policy as it sits. It gives everybody the ability that needs to be able to come forth and seek hardship for rates and charges within that mechanism, and so the review just to say as it is. The next thing is the master plan direction. We reviewed the master plan update and found some efficiencies that we could by combining a couple of separate items within that plan, particularly around we had an individual master plan for each of the rubbish tips, so we combined the rubbish tips together into one master plan to do for the whole LGA. A recent completion of a master plan for the Darlington Point long daycare has proven that is something that we should be pursuing. The most likely place that would be in the Adrian Douglas Park, so hence we're bringing forth the master plan for Adrian Douglas Park, so we could do that master plan to incorporate that. Plus we're also successful with another grant for that park, but we need that plan to be completed. So those were the main reasons for the changes to the master plan. The General Manager's meeting for Ramjo is on the 29th of April. It's in Griffith and online. Newell Highway Task Force is in Coonabarra Brand and online. The Ramjo board meetings on the 13th of May in Griffith. ALGA is in June 19th to 23rd in Canberra, so on and so forth. So if there's any questions before I put the recommendation?
Councillor Major?
Just some clarification around the master.
Yep.
So yes, fully agree to commence on master plan 14, 15, 16. necessarily agree that we did prioritise the other listing because it was as presented. We did have a conversation.
Yep.
We said we didn't want to go into, we didn't have time to go into reprioritising them.
Right.
Can you reword that recommendation a little bit to reflect that, yes, that is the list, but it's not necessarily the priorities after 14.
Okay, all right.
Because we did say, Councillor Fraser about having out the pool of Murrumbidgee,
Yeah.
number 19.
So yeah, I'll say council adopt master plan as listed. Just take the word prioritise.
That's it, that's what I exactly did.
Yep.
I reckon take
All right, yeah.
Thanks. Would somebody like to move, please? Move the recommendation and then I'll read them. Move Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Bryce, and the recommendations will read.
Would you like me to read them, Councillor McRae?
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Right, the recommendation is the contents of the General Manager's monthly report be noted and Council adopt. 1. The following genetic review clauses for every policy. Review this policy to be reviewed within the first year of the new council term. May be reviewed and amended at any time at council discretion or if legislative or state government policy changes occur. Number 2, the existing credit card policy as reviewed, credit card policy, as a reviewed credit card policy, sorry. The reviewed policy of asset disposal, repealing the existing policy as required. The existing enterprise management policy as the reviewed enterprise risk management policy. 5, the following clause be included in the gifts and benefits policy. 1.2.1.1 Gifts by chance. When attending an official function as representatives of council, be it a conference or any event paid for by council, such as LGNSW, ALGA training, etc., or a dinner, such as Lions Christmas party, or an official opening, such as a new or existing business official opening, and whereby there is a possibility to receive a gift by chance, event registration, attendance, seating, allocation, place a business card and barrel to win. The representative of council can legitimately keep the gift received by chance for their own purposes. And B, the remainder of the existing gifts and benefits policy be included as the revised gifts and benefits policy. Number 6, the existing rates and hardship policy as the reviewed rates and hardship policy, and 7, master plan as listed at items 14 to 30 with the General Manager direction to commence master plan items 14 to 50.
Okay, I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 2, please.
Oh, that's me. Sitting in that book over there is the disclosure of returns by councillors. So we have, in accordance with the Act, we've put this report in. We've put them on the table there as being presented to council. So just simply that the recommendation that the information contained within the disclosure of returns by councillors be noted and disclosures be made publicly available in accordance with the legislative.
Somebody like to move? Move Councillor Gilbert, seconded Councillor Major. Are there any questions? Up front? Any comments? If not, I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 3, please.
That's fine. Street safety cameras, CCTV policy draft. It's on display back on the 22nd of February for approval to go on display. 28 days, council received no feedback to this policy. I asked council if we adopt a draft policy for the street safety camera.
Somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Major.
Can I speak to it first?
Yes.
Reason I'm so keen to see street cameras CCTV is I saw 2 policemen in Collingwood last week trying to locate a vehicle that was in the main street using CCTV cameras of businesses in town, and he was unable to find any verification of this vehicle and the incident that occurred. So we should be looking at funding in the future, or getting grant funding to put CCTV in all our towers. I'm very positive to have CCTV in our area.
Any further comment or against? If not, I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you. Item 4, please.
That's me. Just put forward the minutes from Tidy Town's March meeting for this year. I'll take any questions if there's any questions.
Are there any questions of Councillor Bryce, please, regarding the minutes of the Tidy Towns meeting in Murrumbidgee? If not, would somebody like to move this report, please? Move Councillor Bryce, seconded Councillor Kirky. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you. Item 5, please.
Minutes from the recent traffic committee meeting held back in March. 2 reports there indicating reports regarding temporary road closures for the Anzac March and also the Two Rivers track road convoy, which obviously went successfully, I hear. But this is just for information that what we've sent through the traffic, and most of our traffic meetings are e-meetings at the moment. Due to we may only have 1 report or 2 reports, and gathering everyone together in vicinity of the areas, it's easy to do it via email. You'll see the term e-meeting placed there.
Somebody like to move, please, that these minutes be noted. Move Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Saxby. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against, carried. Thank you. Item 6, please.
Councillors, this is a monthly cash and investment report. Presented to Council. I do note there has been an error on page 4, but somehow that representation where our monies are held has not come out on this report. So I'm not sure what happened there. Certainly what we've done, so we might have been that. Copy of that.
It still balances.
Well, that balances, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
For sure, we're using 27 million available in the general fund. But I will comment that in the last week we have received a percentage of next year's financial grant, paid in advance for the election.
What percentage of the grant did we receive?
Look, I haven't received the exact, I'm thinking it's 75%. In the past it's been 50%. There's no notification, it's just turned up in the bank account. So usually they send you some wording and how that's calculated and what the percentage is. I'm thinking it's close to 75%.
Maybe we're after 125%.
So next bank balances will look significantly larger, bearing in mind that it will be actually next year. I will take any questions other than, sorry, I don't know.
Interest rates are rising?
They are rising.
Yeah.
We have been able to invest some monies. That's not a charge.
We'll just hold the champagne.
Yeah. We won't have that one, how that will progress.
Are there any further questions of Vicky? Not, would somebody like to move? Moved Councillor Kersey, seconded Councillor Churgwin. The recommendation will read that Council note the monthly cash and investment report containing the bank balances and schedule of investments as at the 31st of March 2022. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 7, please.
Council, just notification of the rates and annual charges collection report. That to the end of March, 76% of collections been completed for rates and annual charges, which is last year. And bearing in mind that the end of May is the end.
Are there any questions of Vicky, please, regarding item 7? Not somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Major, seconded Councillor Kirky. And the recommendation will read that the contents of the rates and annual charges collection report at the 31st of March 2022 be noted. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 8, please.
Council, the Stronger Communities Fund report, and a 2 each quarter. Just giving a position, I guess, on where we sit present time. Expenditure of those funds. Nice to see that we are progressing. And in the back of your attachments is the information on those funds. I intend to answer any questions if there are any in relation to.
Are there any questions of Vicky, please, regarding the Strong Communities Fund? I think the reporting is quite readable and transparent. So, would somebody like to move the recommendation, please? Move Councillor Strawn, seconded Councillor Bryce. And the recommendation will read that the information contained in the Stronger Communities Fund at March 2022 report be noted. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 9, please.
Councillors, again, another quarterly report on the new council implementation. A listing there advising that the amount of remaining funds as at March was 99,555. Those funds are scheduled to be completed with the LEP and the asset management program. So that's pretty close to.
So when that 99,555 has been spent, you'll do a final report on this and we'll never see this again?
It's been a long 6 years. Yeah. Been one less level of reporting, Vicky. Are there any further questions of Vicky? If not, would somebody like to move the recommendation, please? Move Councillor Strawn, seconded Councillor Kirky. And the recommendation will read that the contents of the new council implementation fund, March 2022 report be noted. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 10, please.
Oh, no. Okay. Any questions? We've never had a list this long before. Always been busy.
Have all these gone through the portal, the new planning portal?
Yes. Yep. All of them actually have.
Is there a lead time at the moment, between the applicant and the actual decision? Is there a lead time of approximately?
Through you, Madam Mayor, there's a number of lead times. The application's uploaded, reviewed by council, whether it's acceptable and will be lodged, or whether it has to be returned. There's no time frame for that. Once it's accepted by council and formally lodged, date's paid, it then has to follow the procedure under the Act. Everything needs to be approved within 40 days. Otherwise, it can be deemed to be refused. But it also, just a little bit further, it can also be put on stop the clock by council with information up to spec. And that stop the clock can almost remain indefinitely up to what can be done.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions of Gary? If not, would somebody like to move item 10, please? Move Councillor Major, seconded Councillor Kirby, that the recommendation read, the information contained in the development applications approval under delegation report March 2022 be noted. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. We have a confidential item, so would somebody like to move that we move into confidence, please? Move Councillor Grice, seconded Councillor Black. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you.
Yep. 4804/22.
Okay, we'll move to item number 11, which is the Darlington Point Caravan Park. And the recommendation will read that moved by Councillor Churban and seconded by Councillor Gilbert, that Council authorise the General Manager to carry out the direction as determined by Council for the Darlington Point Caravan Park. With the recommendation, those in favour please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you.
Meeting closed.
The end. Thank you, everybody.